Oh, for shizzle we got an extra show here today. Y'all see the title. We got an extra show here today. I'm waiting on MD's response. hmm MD, this is your chance for you and Venkat to like really just goddamn slam on Trump right now. And I'm shocked. Usually you're pretty quick to make videos. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you're driving. Maybe you concentrating on that death drop to the left and to the right up in the Appalachian Mountains. I don't know. So, I'm not going to harp on you too hard because I know, you got that dangerous ass job that paid a higher dollars. He gets paid top dollar, y'all, because everybody can't do that job. I know I can. And I consider myself a class A truck driver, but going up one lane, death drop to the left and to the right, up in the Appalachian Mountains, I can't do it. And that's why I don't make the big bucks like MD. But yeah, MD man, I need a response. I need to hear your critique because I have said time and time again that Trump's Achilles heel is the whole Russia Ukraine situation. Damn, I might be proven wrong because this Iran situation, ooh, Liberace Graham, he got on TV and was like, well, hey, we done what we got to do. We out now. I'm paraphrasing what Liberace Graham said, but he's basically saying, oh, the war's over. We did what we need to do. We wanted to take out Ayatollah now. It's up to the people of Iran. Okay. Oh gosh, Trump, this is not good, Donald Trump. Oh, Trump, what are you doing, bro? Goddamn, you making me look bad right now. Because I've always counted on your foreign policy, and MD be on my heels about foreign policy. Someone, because him and Venkat, they straddle the fence. They pretend to hate on Trump until you bring up Putin, and all of a sudden they TDS is cleared up. They get red eye from goddamn TDS. It's like Visine when you mention Putin. Visine gets the red out. If you want to get TDS out, bring up Putin. Bring up goddamn Putin. So yeah, man, I'm assuming it's a good day. So I'm assuming MD's up in the mountains somewhere because man, he would have made a video by now, and I'm waiting for his response. I'm waiting for MD's response. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Mm. Barks root beer. Okay, so you know, um, this situation with Iran is like it's probably the biggest backfire military operation, and it's probably the biggest backfire military operation. Like Iraq was a big blunder with Saddam Hussein, but this one might take the cake. And being that, um, being that, it seems like Donald Trump doesn't really have an exit plan or a backup plan. It seems very, it seems very hurtful. It seems very hurtful, and that, like I said, when Liberace Graham got on there today, and he's like, "Well, we did what we got to do," and I'm just like, "Damn, that's what you sent all those aircraft carriers for, and all those goddamn destroyers. You sent all that military equipment just to take out one holy figure, a man that was in his 80s, who had one foot in the grave. He had cancer. I'm now finding that out. Ayatollah had cancer, and so dang. And I don't want to speak ill of the dead. I'm not gonna do that. But let me just say that yeah, he was up in age, and they tried to advise him to get out of harm's way. Don't be and so Ayatollah in his old age, he probably just didn't care. So yeah, Um, we're hearing a lot of stories about he wanted to become a martyr, but then his 8-year-old granddaughter was there also. So I don't know what the intentions were. I mean, I hear people talking. I just think in his old age that he just was being stubborn and he didn't care about death. He had cancer. He's 86 years old, and he's like, you're not going to be damn rushing me around from place to place. He probably figured, man, I'm old. I got cancer. And yeah, you're not going to be rushing me. I'm too old for this nonsense. So, you know, when we get to a certain age, and I want to say women too, I think I don't know, there's certain things that we just don't want to do anymore. You know, certain things we don't want to do. And I don't think he wanted to haul himself around like that. Now, he didn't know when it was coming, so I will say this, the death of his granddaughter, his 8-year-old granddaughter, I don't think that was, I don't think he thought it through. That's all I'm saying. Um, being that his family members were there, I think his granddaughter, his daughter, and his son, or something. He had like 3 other family members die with him. So, I don't think that was his intention. I hope it wasn't his intention. So now, what we got now, you guys, hit the like button. By the way, hit the like button. Now they're talking about sleeper cells here in the U.S. As y'all know, I mentioned earlier, uh, America, man, we live in a gangster society. Um, we were brought up on gangsterism. And so, I mean, if you don't believe, look at the Great Depression, look at the American Mafia, Jewish Mafia. Let's look at, Crips Bloods. Let's look at La M.A. We, here in America, have a history of gangsterism. And so, having somebody come along being an Islamic cell is not going to move the needle for us. It's just not. So, I hear the media fear mongering. Oh, what if there's Islamic sleeper cells out there? And what if there are? So what? America, we do what we do. We do what we do, regardless. And some Islamic extremist is not going to move the needle for us. It's just not. A school shooter will move the needle before an Islamic terrorist does. You know, so like Dylan Roof, going up in the church. I think that's the only time. I mean, but you're going up in the church, man. You're not going up in the hood. Dylan Roof didn't go up in the hood. Is the point I'm making. You're going up in the church. So these Islamic terrorists, what would be their target? Obviously, you don't hear about these terrorist acts in the hood because we got our own terrorist acts. And so our terrorist acts would overshadow any Islamic cell coming into our neighborhoods, whether it be the hood or trailer parks or wherever. The barrio, it wouldn't make a bleep on the radar is what I'm saying. So you know, I hear the fear mongering, but what I do think, my spidey senses tell me that what I do think is that the government always wants to create. This is just my theory. I'm not saying this is true or not, but I think, and this is what I suspect, that if there is any type of so-called Islamic terrorist cell activity, that's the government wanting to gaslight the society into this whole anti-Islamic frenzy. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm not a fan of Islam like that. You know what I'm saying? I know Muslims, but I'm not a fan of Islam. But I'm not a fan of no religion. Just I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I'm not a fan of no religion. I'm not a fan of Islam or Christianity. But I have Christian brothers and sisters Shout out to my Christian brothers and sisters, and I know some Islamic people, but I'm not going to get into that. What I'm saying is that if you have these Islamic cells, allegedly sleeper cells, I think it's a setup for a false flag. And that's to get people in the mindset of being Islamic. And so anything that is done from here on out will have an approval rating as opposed to having a disapproval rating. Does that make sense to y'all? If that makes sense, hit the like button. And so that's where I think that we're at right now. I think we're in the middle of swaying the narrative in a certain direction. That's what I think, because you can't scare people in America like that. I mean, not all Americans. Like I said, I guess you got two types of Americans. You got the gangsters and you got the squares. You might you might scare some square with that nonsense. Oh, the Islamics. Oh, we got sleeper cells. You might scare some square with that, but you're not gonna scare, you know, I would even say your average American citizen. And we don't even all have to be gangsters. We know bullshit when we see it, and we not intimidated. We're not scared by. Man, we live in a society. Let me tell you something. Here in America, we live in a society of road rage where people just they ready to goddamn do you from just some traffic nonsense. You know what I'm saying? They ready to goddamn throw hands. They ready to goddamn hurt you over just some traffic, over some goddamn road rage. So that's the level of our society here in America, that we get just mad over some, oh, that person cut me off, man. I'm gonna beat that motherfucker up. That's, just driving. We live in a dangerous society just from, like I said, common road rage. And everybody, it seems like, especially here in Atlanta, everybody has a level of road rage here in Atlanta. So long before any attack on Ayatollah Khomeini, we have always had this chip on our shoulder, and the road rage proves it. Like I said, I mean, I'm a truck driver, so I see it every day. So all I'm saying, the point I'm making is that if you see anything out there, people being gaslight, and and shout out to the people who have YouTube channels that won't click views and all that. But I think again, talking about Islamic cells and they're waiting and oh they want revenge. Now I think they do want revenge, but that revenge is more or less people celebrating in Bahrain, Qatar, maybe, I don't know, um, United Arab Emirates, these Arab countries where they're cheering on weapons that are coming down on their city, and they are apparently there is no fear. There's cheering. Like we just live in that type of world. I mean, uh, we live in that type of world. This is the world we live in now, where you could be in your city, and I'm referring to all these Islamic countries, and you watch bombs come down on your city, and you're celebrating. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, because I don't know what conditions these people are going through. Um, Not all, but some people living in that world, um, they might feel a sense of an oppression. I don't know. I don't know. I don't live in a theocracy. Y'all know I'm not for no theocratic government. However, um, I know enough to know that the killing of the Ayatollah is not going to rally up people, because people like being religious. And let's excuse the Islamic world. Let's just look at here in America. Like people love believing in God, people love Jesus, and people love being religious. They, people love being religious, and so I think the same goes for the people over in the Middle East. I think people are just as fervent for their faith as any other type of people. I don't think there's no difference between, when it comes to people engulfed in their faith, I don't think there's no difference between Catholicism, Islam, and Christianity, which all three of those, in Judaism, they're all the same. They all come from the same source anyway. So I would say that, their whole feel for their religious faith is the same. And so, again, I don't, these people who witness or who are coming together because of Ayatollah's death, they are going to feel like them coming together is fighting against the big and the evil, wicked Satan. So, only in their minds, only Satan would kill their religious leader. And I would understand that. I don't agree with it, but I can get where a person would come from with that concept. And so, yeah, these people are coming together. The great evil killed our leader, so we must come together. He's a martyr, whatever that means. I've always heard people talk about martyrdom and all that. Didn't know we did it in modern times, but apparently so. And this is your chance, MD and Venkat, to really, 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 I really want to hear MD's take on this. Because again, you guys have been waiting, and there's nothing domestic that Trump, they keep really pointing fingers at, man. I think Trump domestically has done well. So again, this is why I said I've always been on the foreign policies, the geopolitics of his foreign policy. And so, um, Trump has allowed the neocons, and he's allowed the senators, like let's say Lindsey Graham, he's allowed these Pentagon, he's allowed all these people to isolate him and spew war into his ear. War, war, war. We got to go to war. Got to go to war. Got to go to war. And so Trump has, I think, and this is my defense of Trump. I think Trump has tried to appease those people by, okay, we're going to send bombs. We're not going to put troops on the ground. We're going to send bombs, and then we're going to call it a game. We're going to bomb and then call it a day. And so, um, that's where I'm at with that. So, man, yeah, MD, I hope you make a response video to your situation on Trump. I know you already got it planned in the works, but I was thinking you would do something in the daytime. I don't want to wait till night, but MD does what he does. He has a show. Y'all subscribe to MD channel. He's always has a very interesting outlook and prospect. Him and Venkat on the whole. Now Venkat has. I used to think he had TDS, but like I said, when you bring up Putin, he he's suddenly cured. So yeah, man. We need to make up a new term for whatever's equivalent to Trump's TDS. We need to make a symptom for Putin DS. I don't know, PDS. Trump derangement symptom, Putin deranged symptom, PDS. Yeah, yeah. He doesn't have TDS, he has PDS, Putin deranged syndrome. So, hey, I just made that term up, you guys, Putin deranged syndrome. If you want to cure Trump derangement syndrome, you give him a shot of Putin deranged syndrome. And that'll cure TDS fast. Fast, trust me. So, yeah, I'm going to continue to watch the news, y'all. And, yeah, man, hopefully I get a response from MD, man. And with that being said, man, I'm out, y'all. Peace.